office supply store in China. Very successful. They got bought out by Staples. Suddenly this guy is looking at hundreds of millions of dollars of investment money on behalf of the chairman. He was an ASES delegate. So this human network that you're creating now may be the most valuable thing to do. I will take a few questions, although I know that I've just about expended my entire hour. Thanks very much, everybody. So, comments, questions?
Hi, Professor. Yeah. Actually, I'm not going to ask a question, but I have a story to tell you.
Sure.
Like last year, also this year, we are applying for the US visa, and the visa officer is actually the founder of ASES Stanford. So that's just a strong human network.
Yes.
That's one great example. So we got no problem with the visa, and he just gave us legal pass and enjoy the trip.
Oh,
yes, and this year we met the same visa officer again. So this is the second time he gave us the visa.
Unfortunately, you'll be gone after 3 years, so be prepared. Something for the next one. But that's great.
But that's one great example for that.
Yeah, I saw a couple of other hands. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm John from Sydney. I think entrepreneurship is a career choice as such. I think it's more of a mindset that's within you. Something that can start when you're a teenager, something that can start when you're 40 years old or something. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's something that is born within you or develops or?
Is entrepreneurship a career choice or is it a mindset? Something that you really have with you? I gotta say yes to both. I think that to a certain extent, it's kind of semantics. Right? How do you define entrepreneurship? Right? To me, you may have a lot of entrepreneurial abilities and skills, but what you really want out of life is to be successful. And you need to find the best ways to be successful. Maybe you don't happen to go to school with the person who's going to come up with the next Google. You really want to invest your precious time, which never comes again, into the very best kind of business idea that you can. And I do speak because I get asked to advise a lot of companies, and I get that. I asked to talk to a lot of people. I got to know a lot now. And so I think that there's a lot that is timeless about being an entrepreneur. Especially an entrepreneur is ready to change. But you make the change when you have a great opportunity. And so part of the skills you want to develop is finding the best opportunity. And taking what is this fuzzy idea and turning it into something you can really implement, right? So, yeah, it's a great question. I hope everybody can be an entrepreneur, but I hope you'll be careful with the business opportunity. Good. Thank you.
Hi, Professor. This is Audrey from Beijing. I'm speaking of the inefficiency in China of ease of doing business. Do you think it's a problem caused by red tape or lack of democracy or historical or cultural heritage? Do you think it will be a big problem for the young entrepreneurs in China? Because some entrepreneurs, they turn out to be somewhat like bureaucrats at either end in China. I think it's very odd.
I think that's a danger, yeah. I think that right now China is going through one of the biggest transformations that the world has seen. This is probably the equivalent of discovering the New World when Europe first started coming to North and South America, because suddenly there's new players in the world economy. And it's a huge change in China, because China has had, certainly ever since the Cultural Revolution, even though that ended, what, in the mid-70s, China was just kind of cruising along, and really in the early 90s started to pick up and really develop a new kind of economy. I think that a lot of the difficulty is not having a tradition to rely on. People are learning as they go along. B, people are people. And it's a natural kind of tendency to want to protect you, yourself, and your family first, right? And so one of the difficult traditions to develop is this sense of my company first, and that doesn't mean me first. I think that's a hard thing. I think that the IP law, I think all of that is changing rather quickly. I think the Chinese government wants to have a good environment for business to grow. I think that it's still an environment in which I want a good local partner before I go into China. I want somebody I would trust with my life, who is going to partner with me, who I know my motivation matches the partner's motivation, right? If you can do that, then I think that you can be very effective in China. Everybody's coming to my class on Tuesday afternoon, and I've got a panel of 2 people who are doing kind of business consulting in China. So let's ask them too. I think they may have even fresher insights in this.
Thank you.
Yes, you said that the entrepreneurship in India is more necessary. I feel that several years now, people have an opportunity to get into companies which have been like probably many of that people know about Canada, probably Tata. Companies like that, people have had an opportunity. And it's probably still there.
They have had an opportunity, right?
Yeah, but now,
Now it's
it's companies from outside, so it's not an option that has been killed as of yet.
Yeah.
Like people see it as, okay, that's one of the options. Still
Yeah.
probably one of the major options that people sitting in campus interviews is very high.
Yeah.
And similarly, when they talk about an ATM machine, probably one of the most, that company, many of these students here, we are not saying about many of us students are actually there. More companies coming out probably now based on using innovation, depending on innovation, data and services.
I think that's a very good comment. I think that's a really important comment. In regard to looking at the labor situation, one of the key questions is, if you get to be 35 years old and your company is not working out like you want it, how easy is it to find your next job? It is really easy for the 25-year-old. But what's going to happen further on? Things have been growing so fast in India, and I really think that I know that foreign companies, non-Indian companies, that try to hire people have to offer not only really good compensation packages, even higher pay than local companies do, but also the opportunity to do training overseas, the opportunity to do things that you can't get in one of the Indian companies. So the labor market's getting tight, I think. Also, there's a disparity. IITs are very small, right? How many? Yeah, right. And so, that's not the labor force of India. Yeah, go ahead.
So, comment about what you just said, the fact that the compensation provided by, say, companies abroad, it's still peanuts compared to what you have to pay here, right?
Yeah, but bigger and bigger peanut. But it used to be the labor differential was like 5 to 1.
Yeah, exactly.
You paid 5 times as much here as you would there. It's closer to 3 to 1 now in some areas of software and that kind of thing.
Sir, another comment about terrorism in India. It's extremely unfortunate that it's again resurfacing, and we're trying to mobilize international opinion. Hopefully, Obama will help. But that apart, it's kind of helping entrepreneurs in one way, because Infosys and TCS, which are India's biggest IT companies, are constantly under threat of being demolished or under bomb attacks. So is the case with many MNCs. In fact, what happened was, in our placement situation, a couple of companies backed out because of the December attack. So this is reality there. So in this case, a lot of Indian companies are now started up on, say, security